When your erstwhile boss and your very close ally, Nawaz Sharif, was working hand in glove with Pakistan's military dictator, General Zia, for many years. And suddenly he's decided that the military and the way they interfere in politics in Pakistan is entirely unacceptable. What kind of hypocrisy is that?
No, I disbelieve this analysis. Frankly speaking, I disagree with you.
Well, what bit of what I've just said is
maybe
wrong?
Evolution process. Maybe evolution process.
Evolution process?
Yes, because
oh, you mean because then he was in power and now he's out of power, so he's really angry with the army because they won't work with him?
No, it's not the first time. It's the third time he was prime minister. And Imran Khan, own interior minister, tells the whole world that Mr. Sharif would have been fourth time prime minister if he had not got trouble with the establishment.
So yes, how many properties do you and your family own?
It's all declared in my tax returns.
Well, just give me the answer, because I don't know. How many properties do you and your family own?
I have my main residence in Pakistan, which has been taken over by this regime. So I haven't got too many properties. But
how many properties do you and your family own?
My net worth is what has been reported.
How many properties do you and your family own?
One.
One sole residence. You and your family own one property.
My sole residence.
So all of these stories in the Pakistani press about multiple properties owned by your family inside Pakistan, property interests overseas, including in Dubai, wherever, and we're sitting in London. We're sitting in London. You own nothing in London?
No.
Your family, not just you, your family.
No, not at all.
Own nothing?
No, because
and Dubai?
The government.
Dubai?
My sons have just one villa, which is owned by them. They're in business for the last 17 years.
So when I asked you how many properties you and your family own, and you said one, that wasn't strictly true.
No, it is strictly true, because they're adult, they're married, they're 17 years, they're in business, so they're independent of me.
You know very well that when the NAB looked at your assets, they were looking at you and your family.
I have no...
You have increasingly chosen to focus front and center on an anti-American message. It was there in the response to Salman Taseer. It was there when the killing of bin Laden was announced. Your first reaction, you said, was to feel anger and humiliation on the news that bin Laden was dead. Explain that.
Stephen, how would you feel if someone, your ally, comes from across the border and kills someone in your own country? And here you are, giving immense sacrifices for that neighbor or for that country. Pakistan has lost 35,000 people dead. $70 billion lost to the economy.
But we're talking about Osama bin Laden. We're talking about the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks. Was it not perhaps a sense of shame that he was in Pakistan, and as the Americans went on to claim, almost inconceivable, the Pakistanis did not know in some form that he was there? Maybe shame about that, but also a sense of relief that, thank God, he is no longer capable of leading Al-Qaeda and its terror activities.
Stephen, for one, whether Pakistan government was complicit or whether it was incompetent, as said by Panata, I'm talking as a member of Pakistani public who's not part of the government.
Well, you're talking as a responsible leader in Pakistan, a man who aspires to actually lead the country.
Exactly. And now, how would I feel but I'm a Pakistani citizen, but my country has given 35,000 people dead in a war we had nothing to do with. $70 billion lost to the economy when total aid has been $20 billion. How would I feel that my ally, who we are fighting for, does not trust us, instead comes and conduct the operation itself?
How does it help?
Should they not have told our government? If it's either it's an ally or it's not an ally.
How does it help in terms of the future stability of Pakistan for you to tell the Americans that you want to see them completely out of your country in terms of intelligence cooperation, in terms of their anti-terror activities in Pakistan? You want to cut all ties, and you believe that will lead to greater stability, when the Americans are alleging right now that the ISI, the Pakistani intelligence agency, is actively helping the Haqqani network and other militants do their deeds inside Afghanistan?
First of all, if this myth being spun that 4,000 or 5,000 Haqqani Taliban is the reason why the US is not succeeding in Afghanistan. 140,000 US soldiers in Afghanistan, greatest military machine in history, is not succeeding because of these 4,000 or 5,000 fighters that are supposed to be holed up in North Waziristan. Does that make sense? That's number one. But I just come back to that.
Does America not have a right